हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट। हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे डीबीटी जेआरएफ के प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस, जिसके अंदर 2024 का पेपर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, जिसमें सब्जेक्ट वाइज क्वेश्चंस को एक एक करके देख रहे हैं। हमने लास्ट वीडियो में सेल बायोलॉजी एंड मॉलिक्यूलर बायोलॉजी के क्वेश्चंस ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिए हैं। आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे बायोकेमिस्ट्री से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस। स्टार्ट करते हैं। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज गिवन बिलो आर टू स्टेटमेंट्स। यहाँ पे टू स्टेटमेंट दे रखे हैं एंड हमें क्या बताना है कि कौन सा स्टेटमेंट यहाँ पे करेक्ट है। अनफोल्डेड प्रोटीन रेस्पॉन्स अकर व्हेन सेल्स आर स्ट्रेस्ड। दिस स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू because unfolded protein response is well known cellular stress response related to the endoplasmic reticulum, and when misfolded or unfolded proteins accumulate in the endoplasmic reticulum to stress like heat shock stress or oxidative stress or nutrient deprivation condition, unfolded protein response is triggered to restore normal functions. So this option is correct. Next is unfolded protein response is a hallmark response by the nucleus to protect the genome. Not nucleus, it is a hallmark response of endoplasmic reticulum. So this option is wrong. So come back to the options. Both statement first and seconds are correct. No, this is wrong. Statement 1 is correct but statement second is incorrect. This option is appropriate for this question. Next is, while analyzing a multiple sequence alignment of homologous protease sequences, the following was observed. So while observing homologous protease sequences, in this question some statements are given about homologous protease sequences, about this enzyme, and which statement do you think are consistent with the above observation? So these are the observation. According to these observation, we have to analyze the correct answer. So 14th position was variable but always encoded by hydrophobic amino acid. 14th position of amino acid hydrophobic. It means it should be buried in the cell wall, because hydrophobic amino acids are always buried in the cell wall, cell plasma membrane. So residue 14th is a buried amino acid. This is correct. This is correct observation about this statement. Next is, the 17th position was conserved and was serine in all the sequences. So 17th position is conserved as a serine in all sequences. It means serine is a common catalytic residue in the proteases. This hints a functional importance, and it should be 17th position may be part of active site of protein. It should be the active site of protein, because serine is present in most of the proteases. Serine is present in most of the enzymes active site. So this observation is also correct. Next is, 29th position was variable but always encoded by aspartate and glutamate. So 29th position amino acid of this enzyme encoded by aspartate and glutamate. It means it have negative charge, because aspartic acid and glutamate both are negative charged amino acid. Observation about this is, 29th residue is buried amino acid. No, this is wrong, because charged amino acids are always exposed to outside. So this is wrong. Next is, 15th position was conserved and always encoded by phenylalanine. It means observation for this is, 15th position is an exposed amino acid. No, this is also wrong, because phenylalanine is a bulky conserved hydrophobic residue, can be buried or a part of binding pocket. So not typically exposed unless structurally or functionally important. due to this bulky and hydrophobicity of phenylalanine. This is usually buried, not exposed amino acid. So this statement is also wrong. So A and B correct for this observation. Next is the delta G of unfolding reaction of a monomeric protein is folded to unfolded varies with the concentration of guanidine hydrochloride with the following relationship. This is the relationship between delta G and guanidine hydrochloride. Delta G equals to m into guanidine hydrochloride plus 10 kilocalorie per mole, and m is given. What is the guanidine hydrochloride at which half of the protein is unfolded? Here the transition between folded and unfolded protein is governed by delta G, which gives free energy change, and we all know that delta G is greater than 0. It is favor the folding of protein. If delta G is less than 0 in negative form, it means it favor the unfolding, and folding is organized form and unfolding is scattered form. Delta G, if delta G is equals to 0, it is half of the protein are folded form and half of the protein are in the unfolded form. So we asked about half of the protein is unfolded. It means here delta G is 0. So if we put the values in this equation, 0 is equals to m is minus 2 kilocalorie per mole, and guanidine hydrochloride, we calculate the value of guanidine hydrochloride plus 10 kilocalorie per mole. So here minus 2 into guanidine hydrochloride plus 10, then guanidine hydrochloride is equals to 10 by 2, so it is 5 molar. So ऑप्शन नंबर 3 इज द करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन. तो इस टाइप के जो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं न्यूमेरिकल बेस्ड वाले, तो इनसे घबराना नहीं है, बिकॉज ये बिल्कुल सिंपल है. यहाँ पे हमें पता होना चाहिए कि ये चीज अगर किसी को पता है तो ये क्वेश्चन इजीली सॉल्व हो सकता है. लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. समटाइम्स phi and psi angles can be used to construct the 3D structure of a protein. Which one of the following statements are true with respect to this process? So phi and psi angles, we all know that construct the 3D structure of protein and plot it in Ramachandran plot. Ramachandran plot. The omega angle is required to model the final 3D structure. First of all, the protein is made up of repeating unit of amino acid, and basic structure of amino acid is NH2 C alpha, and here carboxylic group, hydrogen and specific R chain, and between N and C alpha there is phi, and between C and C alpha there is psi angle, and this show the full rotation around this. For showing the 3D structure of protein, we often use these dihedral angles, and one more dihedral angle which is omega, and this is present between peptide bond. If another amino acid is attached with this, then H2O water molecule is released from here, and here some bond is present which is known as peptide bond, and this peptide bond rotate only peptide bond, and this is partially double bond, it rotate only 180 degree, not fully rotated. First option says that omega angle is required to model final 3D structure. No, it's wrong, because it is usually fixed at around 180 degree due to rigid nature of peptide bond. So doesn't vary much, and hence isn't generally needed to model the structural variability. So this option is wrong. Next is phi and psi are not sufficient to model the 3D position of the side chain atoms. This is correct, because phi and psi define only main chain conformation. Side chain need additional torsal. So phi and psi defines only main chain conformation. Side chain need additional torsion angles, which is chi, and this define the final side chain of the 3D structure of the side chain. So this option is correct. Next is the allowed region of Ramachandran map is sufficient to model the 3D structure ab initio. This option is also wrong, because Ramachandran map only gives allow phi and psi angles, not complete 3D structure. For ab initio modeling requires more data like energy calculation, folding forces, and side chain angles like chi angle. So this option is also wrong. Next is phi and psi are sufficient to fix all main chain atoms except for glycine, which is achiral. So glycine is achiral because its side chain also contains the hydrogen group, and phi and psi angles sufficient to fix all main chain atoms. This option is correct, because glycine is achiral and has more flexibility and occupy more region on the Ramachandran plot. So this is an exception. In Ramachandran plot, it occupy most of the region. So option number A, option B and D is correct. Let's move to the next question. There are 20 amino acids. How many different polypeptide chain of n number of amino acids are possible? So this question is about, there are 20 amino acids. We all know that proteins are generally standard amino acids are 20 amino acids. How many different polypeptide chains of n number of amino acids are possible? So chain length is n, and number of possible combination is 20. So for n number of combination, 20 is to power n. So this option is correct for this question. Next question is, which one of the following represent the structure of silk protein fibroin? So silk protein fibroin is the main specific protein of silk, and it is generally antiparallel beta sheet, and this antiparallel beta sheet is stabilized by hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonds are present between this. So these hydrogen bonds give the flexibility and strength to this silk fibroin protein. And in silk fibroin protein antiparallel beta sheet, some specific sequence are present, which is glycine, serine, glycine, alanine, lysine, alanine. So this type of sequence is present in the antiparallel beta sheet of silk fibroin protein. So option number first is the correct answer. Next question is, which one of the following amino acid residue pairs can disrupt alpha helix? This is the favorite question of for all life sciences exams. So alpha helix breaker, we all know that proline is well known alpha helix breaker, and glycine is also disrupt the helical structure, because glycine's structure, we all know that glycine is very small amino acid, and so it also break the helical structure. It cannot form perfect geometry of helical structure. So this is correct. Here proline is wrong, but glutamine is a participate in hydrogen bonding, and it's not a helix breaker. Lysine and arginine both are positively charged amino acid, and these are also participate in hydrogen bonding. So this is not the correct answer. And alanine promote the helical structure. It promote helical structure, not disruptor. So this is also wrong. So option number 3 is the correct answer.
To be continued.